what if now? What if your dog could talk? What if we walked on the moon for our morning walk? What if all the traffic lights were always green? What if now?
Oh, what if now? Hey, picture this. You're having the single worst day of your miserable little life. Phone won't stop buzzing with crap you don't want to deal with. Someone said something they definitely shouldn't have. And now you're standing in your backyard staring at the dirt like a sad sack going, what if I just disappeared? Not in a lame run away to Thailand way. Nah, straight through the damn planet. New country, new life, new you. Australia, maybe. Or some tropical island near Aruba where the cocktails are strong and the Wi-Fi is non-existent. You grab a shovel and start digging straight down like a lunatic with a plan. So, what actually happens? Spoiler, champ, you don't pop out in Australia. You don't pop out anywhere. What happens next is so much weirder and so much more hilariously awful that I need you to sit your ass down for this one. Trust me. First problem, you gotta dig 6,370 kilometers straight down. That's the whole radius of the Earth. For context, the deepest hole humans ever managed was in Russia. Soviet scientists spent 24 years, Cold War cash, and pure we have something to prove energy on it. You know how far they got? 12 kilometers. 12. Then the rock turned into hot chewing gum and the drills just sank like a spoon in melted ice cream. The whole team looked at the remaining 6,358 kilometers and went, yeah, nope, we're out. Dora the Explorer can suck it. But hey, let's say you've got a magic indestructible drill, a perfect cylindrical tunnel, and somehow the insane amount of power needed. You walk to the edge, give a little salute to your ex's contact name, and jump. Theoretically, you'd reach the other side. Vacuum tunnel, no air resistance. You fall to the center, shoot up the other side, fall back down. Human yo-yo forever. Full round trip, 42 minutes flat. Physicists have known this since the 1600s. Cute, right? They call it the gravity train. Adorable. But let's talk about what actually happens to you once you start falling. Remember that warm, soft, toothpaste-like rock that made the Russians quit? Yeah, heat. At 100 kilometers down, you're already kissing 870 degrees Celsius. The mantle you're about to spend most of the trip in. Between 1,000 and 1,650 degrees Celsius. Outer core, liquid iron at 4,000 degrees Celsius. Inner core, 6,000 degrees Celsius. Hotter than the surface of the sun. You don't burn. Burning is for amateurs. You vaporize. 1 second you're a guy with anxiety and an avoidant situationship. Next second you're a fancy cloud of hot gas. No more phone calls at least. Problem 2. Pressure. Say you somehow survived the vaporization phase. Respect, you absolute legend. Military subs start whining at 400 atmospheres. A group of rich dudes once thought their submarine could handle the pressure. Ocean Gate showed us exactly how that works out. At the center, 3.6 million atmospheres. Your body doesn't get crushed. It gets turned into a dense little meat marble the size of a grape. A very hot grape. At least you'd fit in a pocket. Problem 3. The Earth is spinning. Your tunnel isn't. The second you jump, the Coriolis effect says hi and starts slamming you sideways into the wall. No guidance system. You hit that rock at increasing speed and get sanded down into a fine paste of XU before you even reach the middle. Skinned alive, friction cooked, the whole deluxe package. But let's pretend, against every law of physics, thermodynamics, and basic human dignity, you make it anyway. What's waiting for you at the center? Nothing. Absolutely jack squat. No secret cave, no underground ocean, no dinosaurs, no lost civilization like Jules Verne promised. Just a giant solid ball of iron and nickel the size of the moon, quietly spinning in the dark for the last 4.5 billion years. It was here long before you, and it'll still be here long after every person you've ever loved is completely forgotten by the universe. You dug 6,400 kilometers, survived temperatures that make the sun look like a lukewarm bath, got compressed harder than a bad Tinder date, and for what? An old spinning rock that doesn't even know you exist. You're not the adventurer, you're the ant on the sidewalk. You always were. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you should probably just order pizza and touch grass instead.